What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3 Star Draw, and you listening to the smooth sounds of Down South 77, baby. Y'all can blame that on my cousin. This is an adult collector channel where we primarily talk about G.I. Joe, namely G.I. Joe Classified, but as you can see, I like to collect a few other things too. Get them on my shelf, have them in my head canon for other stuff. Just stuff I think is neat. Today we are doing a G.I. Joe video because hot off the presses, literally hot off the truck about 20 minutes ago, I got in number 141 straight from Hasbro Pulse. This is a controversial one a little bit, you guys. It's the Steel Corps Commander versus the Twilight Guard. I know you can't see it real well right there. We'll rectify that in a few minutes. So this one is a repainted mishmash of characters, the best that I can tell. I thought they looked good. There's a lot of people that I saw that were going to pass on these guys. They're kind of army builders. The Steel Corps Commander, depending on how many commanders your Steel Corps unit has, this could be a standalone guy, or maybe you got enough Steel Corps that you got a bunch of commanders. I don't know. I've got 4, so I think having one commander works for me. As far as the other dude, the Twilight Guard, I don't even know who these are. I've seen people say that they are a take on the Shadow Guard. As far as I know, this is a new character. New character, new troop builder. We'll check him out. But a lot of people wasn't going to order this because repaint, because mishmash. We don't need them. A lot of people don't like the Steel Corps figures. I personally do. I think they're pretty neat. I like their colors. This guy's got a little bit different color scheme to him. So we're going to get him out, check him out, see how they stand up to the other figures that they are parts of or parts made out of, and see what we think. But thing is, I got to get another Twilight Guard, dude, and I don't want to order another 2-pack because I have 2 of the troopers, and maybe this guy is like the Twilight Guard, but that don't really seem to make a lot of sense, does it? Who knows? Let's get him out and take a look. All right, we'll get us a little bit more close-up shot of the box, and I'll turn that ring light on here in just a minute when we get them out. Just get a look at the box here. So also want to point out that my audio may sound a little different here. I know it's going to be louder. I just hope it doesn't get fuzzy. I did buy a lavalier clip-on mic that I'm kind of experimenting with to get some better sound during this part of my reviews, and also to get the microphone out of my face. So see how this works out. Might have to play with it a little bit. So we got a good portrait of each figure here on the side of the box. Got a nice picture here of these guys having a battle in, looks like some kind of futuristic cyberpunk maybe version of like a Chinatown. So we got this dude leaping through the air and this guy shooting completely the opposite direction. Looks good so far. You got some interesting weapon choices we're going to point out. You got their stats down there, and I still don't know what all those things mean. I probably never will. So then you got them on the side of the box too here, and our QR code with a little asterisk down here beside it. I haven't scanned one of these things for a little while. I'm going to scan it real quick and see if it does anything different. So that's where it takes us to. So same old Hasbro shop. I thought maybe since it looked a little bit different, they would swap that around, but no. They did not, so here we are with still the QR code to nowhere. I was hoping the different colors, they might do something with it. So, all right, I'm ready to check these guys out. They're number 141. They do have this generic ass packaging, but this packaging looks a little better than the smaller figures. But I mean, you still got this Dollar General ass border all the way around. I don't know. It breaks it up a little because I guess it's all not all bunched up together. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. So let's see how hard it is to get these weapons out of the trays. No pull tab. Just have the pull out deal there. Okay, so that stuff's on the bottom. All right, so I do like that background. It's got the GI Joe and the Cobra there. I do like that. That part's pretty neat. Um, Kind of breaks it up a little bit. Oh, I'm glad that wasn't my toe. There's what you get when you pop them out, and then this one is on the bottom. And okay, it was over here. I'm like, am I missing a weapon? But this one sits so far down in there. A lot of blast effects with these guys. I like that. With a pack like this, I want to see some blast effects. I like the weapons I'm digging, especially for this guy. Which, let's be honest, this is probably the reason most people are buying this set is for the Twilight Guard. All right, let's go ahead and get them out and see what they're all about. All right, I got everything out there. Most of that stuff come out really easy. This was probably the easiest stuff in tray that I have removed yet since they went back into the plastic trays. Just remember on the knives, push them from the bottom, from the back side, push them from the bottom and kind of up and pop the hilt up on them, and they will come out slightly less bendy than normal. So these guys do come with a lot of stuff, and I gotta admit I am a little bit confused on whose stuff is actually whose. I'm actually gonna grab the box and set the box over here off to my side so I can look at the box a little bit and see it there in that corner, because everything just about is a shade of purple. So I do like the paint apps on the guns, but I don't understand why they're all purple. Um, Clearly, the back of the box has the commander holding this M60, and this popped out. I always hate when this ammo box pops out of this thing. And do love this. I do love this weapon. This is one of the best weapons in GI Joe in the classified line, I think. If I can remember how to snap this thing back on there. It's been a minute since I've fooled with one of these. So yeah, there we go. So that's gonna pop back in like that. Many of these as I've got in my shelf and fodder bin, it seemed like I would know that. All right, so I do really like this weapon. Got your bipod that again is not each side is independent. Don't know why they did that. They should have run a little piece through there and had it, one piece, whatever. So this is purple. So I'm guessing this means that this lighter shade of purple on the weapons goes with the Steel Core Commander. And it didn't come out too bent. It's not perfect, but this is a slightly tougher plastic than what we've seen. This durometer that we've learned that word lately. It is a better durometer on these weapons. You can tell when you take them out that they're a little bit better. So let's look at everything that's that shade purple. We've got this SMG here. This come with the other Steel Brigade guys. It's come with several. Nice little purple on there. That's what I always say about these weapons is I wish they'd have hit them with a little bit of paint. They did on this 2-pack. Removable magazine. That one actually stays in well. So this isn't a bad weapon, I don't think. I kind of like this one. It's got this raised reflex sight there. I think this is a pretty neat weapon. This is one I kind of like. So then he does have this assault rifle. This one I'm not too crazy about. It doesn't, I don't know. This one doesn't do much for me, but they did put the launcher on the bottom, and that is a foregrip, but I guess that could also be a cocking mechanism for whatever that launcher is on the bottom, because I mean that's what it is. It has a blast effect port as well. And then he also comes with the sniper style rifle, and I don't remember who came with this rifle. Um, I like this one too, and it come out actually reasonably straight. It does have a removable suppressor that has that little night sight blast effect port, so that's pretty cool. Um, that pops in there. That's interesting that is that color. So you get that back in there. Then I'm guessing that these are going to be both of this guy's. No, only one of these is this guy's pistol, because he has a spot for pistol too. So it's going to have to be this one. And this, we've seen this pistol several times. Again, they did hit it with some paint. So I do like that they did the slide in gold, like a metallic gold. Looks about as good as you're going to be able to make this look. If they'd have done the handle in matching gold or something else, brown, whatever. But either way, I mean, pistols that look like this are really out there. So there we go. So I'm guessing this is going to go to this guy over here. He also does come with his knife. Guessing this is steel core. Yeah, steel core knife. I guess I could have just looked over here at the one he's literally holding. And the M16, got a sight on top of it. We've seen this one a few times. I like this weapon as well. Come with grunt, come with mutt. I think it came with scarlet retro card. Come with a few. I like this one. I think it's odd that they didn't put any paint apps on this one, and they did on literally every other weapon, even the knives this time. But they didn't put anything on here. So seems like maybe the stock or the barrel, the heat shield there, maybe that would have been this color purple, but it's not. So all right, blast effects, I'm just kind of going to push over here for a minute. I am happy that it comes with blast effects, especially this one. I love the smoke blast effect, and this is one of the better looking ones that anybody has done. I know people say other companies do blast effects better. This one right here is probably one of the best ones that's been done yet. It's my favorite one, Hasbro. So let's take a look at Twilight Commander's loadout here. It comes with this long knife. Got the tool on the back for opening a beer when he's finished. The bottle opener there. Now this is an interesting color on the blade for this figure. Knives are not quite as blunt as we've seen in the past, but they still are rather blunt, but they get the point across. So this blade is actually like a gunmetal gray. It's not silver, it's not black. It does have paint on it. Hilt's black plastic. I like it. It's a little bit bent, but this is a nice inclusion for some of the knives. They need to use this color on some of the weapons. And then here's his pistol, and what do you know? They use that color on some of the weapons. So the slide on his pistol, which is a different pistol, isn't it? Yeah, it was a different pistol. I thought so. So this one does have the colored slide to match the knife. Nice attention to detail there. So here we've got future rifle. This is the one that's probably in everybody's weapons bin from the beginning of the line. Who came with this? Was it the Viper? that came with this, the Cobra Island Viper. I know it was used. Not a fan of this weapon. This will go in the baggie, but there it is. It is purple. It looks good. It's just this goofy weapon. Don't care for it. But there it is. Comes with this weapon. Have we seen this? Is this a new weapon? It looks like it should go with these, but I don't remember. I don't have Cobra Island Viper open, so I don't know if it come with that figure or not. I have not. I've got two of those, but I haven't opened those because by the time I got that figure, I already had the 3-pack, and the Viper figure is kind of pricey, so I just left them boxed for now. Anyway, I like this. It's like you know, tear gas launcher. I guess it could be a grenade launcher, whatever. It ain't going real far, but does have the purple, does have the black. I like how it's broken up there. A lot of little detail in this weapon. It's just, it's silly. It's a silly weapon, but it's okay. And then they give him this cyber shotgun. Again, is this a new weapon or a reuse from Cobra Island? Because I truly don't know, and I did not pull all the stuff down off the top of my shelf to look. I kind of like this. I don't like this because if the barrel was rounded for this, this could be passable as some type of shotgun, but for the way it looks like it is a vented, like a heat shielded energy weapon. I like it up till we get to here. It does have some nice detail in the sculpt on it, but have we seen this before? I think we have, but I don't know who it come with. We'll put that over there. Here's the sword. Again, on this, also, real quick, they should have done the slide in purple. The slide definitely should have been purple on this weapon, but whatever. They hit everything else with enough paint apps. Maybe I can forgive that. Got his sword here. Is his sword the gunmetal? It is. Saber. It's a saber, I know. So on the scabbard for his sword, you got a paint app here, and you got a little bit on the handle for it. I like it. It looks nice. They did. They listened on stuff we said we'd like to have paint for on these guys. So he does come with this backpack. See if I can get that to focus on that emblem, because I can't tell looking at it what that emblem is. It's not the Crimson Guard. So I'm hoping it'll show on the video. It's focusing on it. I just can't tell. Is that a Crimson Guard logo, or is that a whole new logo, whole new sigil for this faction or this subset? I cannot tell looking at it from here, so maybe it'll show. So they did the straps on this in purple. Nice detail. So I do like it. Does this stuff fit on here? Looks like it is going to. Who came with this backpack? Because if these fit on here, this has got to be some kind of reuse, I'm thinking. I don't remember who's got this backpack. All right, let's look at what we came to look at. We're going to do this guy first. Yes, we are. So here is our Steel Core Commander. Overall, I think he looks nice. He's got the gold on the Steel Core helmet. He's a gold head. Shout out to Australian crew. Let's see if how he moves. Joints are pretty tight on that elbow. And break them free. They're not bad at all. Let's see what the legs do. Nice ratchet. I don't know. Oh, okay. I was trying to make it where you could hear that. I don't know if you can hear that or not. So drop down hips are not loose on this figure. You got your, you have a thigh cut. Yep, thigh cut. Okay. So far, so good. Now, bane of my existence, Hasbro ankles. Well, not bad right out of the box. They feel pretty good. So let's take a look at this guy. And then let's grab this guy. Got the same overlay as he should. This pauldron is the same, and there's the difference on the tampo on the pauldron. Commander's is gold. This guy's is just in yellow. So nice touch there. You can see the eagle on it. It's got different deco on it. It's the same logo, but it's really looks a lot more 3D, I guess, on this guy with the gold. So I do like that. So Joe Pro on the other side, still the same. Same pauldron over here. He's got the same holster. The legs on this guy are different. These are somebody else's legs. I don't know who. I don't keep up with all of that. So the bottom half of this guy is different figure. You can see the difference there on the legs. You got the painted knee pads on your standard steel core. This guy does not have knee pads on. And then he's got the padding over here on the right leg as well. Different boots. His boots are shorter, don't come all the way up to where his ankle swivel is. So you can see there is a difference in this figure from the waist down. Waist up appears to be the same figure to me. There are much better people that keep up with the mix and match use of parts. I do not, mostly because I don't want to know. It's just going to kind of piss me off. So he does have a different belt. His belt more closely matches the tampo, the deco on his vest, so it actually flows together a lot better than the standard guys does, I think, with it being all black and it doesn't really break anything up. And they hit this guy with some green on this belt. Overall, man, I think he's a good looking figure. The paint on him, even the green, it's not as glossy. I don't know if that shows in the video, but this is more of a matte drab green to me. It's not off by a lot, but to me it's noticeable. It looks like it's a slightly different shade, and this is more of an OD green. Actually, it's more of an olive drab than this one is. So overall, I think this guy is a good looking figure. So we're gonna look at that helmet there. So if you want to make somebody else your Steel Corps commander, or you want to do a little Scooby-Doo episode where, haha, it was Zartan all along. No, not Zartan, that's too obvious. Haha, it was the Baroness all along. Who also does have wrist guards. This guy does not. So there's quite a few differences to make him stand out. He's got those weird hands. He's got those weird wrist rockers. They don't do as much as they seem like they should. So it does hold that M16 quite nicely. You don't get a whole lot of, as far as holding the other stock or holding the front of the weapon, holding the foregrip or something. You just don't get a whole lot of it with most of these guys, and you don't get much of it with the Steel Corps. I always have trouble getting that thumb over it. Hands are nice and flexible on this guy, though. All of my videos where I'm trying to have them grip the weapon, we do this in, don't we? Seems like I'd figure out a better way to move that thumb by now. So let's try the little SMG. Looks good with this SMG, I think, but you don't have all of the stuff with the stock to work with, and this one's usually a little bit easier. But that shoulder movement, man, you just their shoulders just don't go in quite tight enough into the chest to get a good two-handed pose with these guys. It's man, you can hold it like that, but it just don't look very natural. And it's just because their shoulders, these butterflies, that's all you got with them. Sniper rifle might be a little bit easier since it's longer. Usually you can do a decent sniper with most of these guys with the sniper rifles that they give us. I think probably Spirit is the best. Low light's not bad. So you can usually get them gripping that foregrip on the sniper rifle, and then you just move the elbows around and you can get mostly a aim down the sights with it. Check out his pistol. Some of the butt stocks or the handles on the pistols, the way they mold the pistols, sometimes it's hard getting the fingers to close around them. It's kind of annoying. It's like they need to make the handle of the pistol just a little bit longer on a lot of them. There we go. So it does have that weird wrist movement, and you're never going to get these guys in a two-handed pistol firing pose. Not these guys. Some of them will do it, but it looks pretty good with him with the gold on the helmet there. So let's throw that in there. So he's got another holster back here. So what goes in that holster? There's only two pistols in the set. That can't be his. So this guy does not have that. I'm interested to see what's supposed to go in this rear holster, because there are only two pistols and this one has to go with this guy, so I don't know. But there is your Steel Corps Commander. Overall, I think people will be happier with this figure than they seem to be with this guy. He looks bigger. Of course, I've got this guy bent into a firing pose. Perhaps these other legs are slightly longer. I don't know. Let's set this guy over here and we'll set him back over here. Hope he stands. So this is probably going to be the star attraction for most everybody. So let's go ahead and get to it. First thing to point out is how shiny this helmet is. The other Crimson Guards that are over here, nowhere near this shiny. I get this guy gives me Star Wars vibes, like big time. What do you guys think sitting there staring at him? Gives me some serious Captain Phasma, however you want to say it, vibes from the new Star Wars movies. So let's look at the cape. We were all wondering about the cape. It is all cloth, red on one side, and it is a black fabric on the other. It almost looks like it's pleather, but it's a different texture. Feels like it's a different texture to me doing this. It's a lot smoother. It's almost, like a vinyl or flexible pleather. So you got his purple upper here around his shoulders. Let's grab another guard just to set over here to compare. These guys are always so much fun to stand up, aren't they? And Crimson Guards. So looking at him, so knee pads are different, boots are different. It's the whole different bottom legs on this guy too. Does have the same pistol holster. Does have the same knife holster over here. Um, this overlay, I don't know about the overlay. Is the overlay new on this guy, or is this one from one of the troopers? Seems like this is one maybe from one of the troopers, but as again, I don't keep up with all that stuff. So black on the shoulders, part of the harness, and then the cape. It is all nice and stitched in strap. I wouldn't try to take this thing off a whole lot, but why would you? Goes around, not a lot of wiggle room with this cape, with this strap. And this is just not a fancy, it is not a fancy material strap on this cape, but it does keep it from sliding around. So can you get this thing off? I think you take his head off and be real careful. I think this cape will come off pretty easily, but I don't really plan on taking it off because it's part of the appeal for this dude, I think. So he's got a smaller silver cobra sigil on his chest, and then he does have on his left arm a whole different pauldron that has that logo on it. Again, I can't tell. I don't think that's not the Crimson Guard logo, is it? With that triangle, we got a triangle with the cobra in the middle of it. You can see it a lot better on here. Maybe some. I don't know if those are supposed to be crescent moons or just like this thing was in movement. Either way, get a good look at it there. Looks good. The orange kind of stands out a little bit. Kind of looks odd on this guy, but I mean, it works. It's just seems like an odd color choice for the figure. So that's just my take on it. So you can see how much shinier, how much glossier the helmet is there. This and it's a whole different. I think this is this the Cobra officer upper? No, his sigil's bigger than that. I don't know. So he's basically a kit bash of several different things. Techno, no, maybe, no, it's not Techno Viper. I don't know. So under here, we've got just a plain pauldron on this side. So he does have one, and that's probably doesn't restrict the shoulder movement too much, but that's about as good as it's gonna get. But that's pretty good. This one slides around. That one slides around. So it's not too bad. Now the question is, are these things going to stay in place once you move them? Because we all know about the slidey holsters and accessories, don't we? So for this guy, the sword, since he's trying to see if you can plug it in the back. Nah, not gonna stay. So got his sword over here. I know some people say that it's on the wrong side, but that is where it goes. So for this guy, it's got to be the right side. See if we can drop this belt down a little bit, because it just seems like that's setting up way too high. And I don't have it. I grabbed my guardsman that I don't have it on, because it just, to me, that's the only thing with it, is it sets up You know, it ought to be slung down lower because you're going to have to reach across your upper chest to grab it and pull it out. But if you want this thing where it's not knocking over stuff around it, if you move him on the shelf or whatever, you've got to do it that way just to get it more vertical, and they just don't really look right to me. But this dude does seem like he is a more ceremonial figure, is what these are supposed to be. Maybe these are a different subset of Crimson Guard that have accomplished some lofty, you know, maybe they earned their Eagle Scout final merit badge as a Crimson Guardsman. So he looks pretty wicked holding the sword. A couple little rubs there. Looks good holding the sword. Again, I'm really glad they did this sword in the gunmetal gray because it does nicely match what they've done with his web gear here. So, backpack. You know, that's my two things that I dislike the most about a lot of these guys are the backpacks and the ankles. It goes in, it's not going to fall off. None of them ever seem to fit quite as tightly as I would like. I'm trying to gear him up and kind of see what he looks like holding all of his various items. Go ahead and get that knife. And we can do it without bending it all the hell. So I was worried about the cape catching on the knife hilt, but not too bad. So this dude does seem like he's the same shade of purple Techno Viper is, which is cool because that's a good looking shade of purple. Let's see, I put some purple up back there for kind of a backdrop for these dudes. Just because purple's an awesome color. If somebody doesn't like purple, there's got to be something fundamentally wrong with them. Again, we got the pistol with the kind of weird. There we go. That one actually popped in better than Steel Commanders did. Oh, so he looks good holding this pistol too, since it does kind of match. A little bit brighter, but a little more noticeable on the pistol. But that's pretty menacing right there. I got to do it. Well, don't know what I did with it. I'm trying to find them. There it is. So small there, it was hiding. Smoke blast effect in this pistol. Yeah, see, that's pretty sweet looking. I love this smoke blast effect. Might have mentioned that. I'd actually like to see a lot of the figures come with that blast effect. That seems like that would be a pretty standard, easy one to throw in for the figures for posability. Get him standing up, the backpack on. That's a damn good looking figure. Didn't check his movement out of the box on this guy, did I? I was so eager to start seeing what he looked like with all his stuff on. Knees, top knee joint is it's a little tight. It is very tight. I might have to hit that one with some heat because I can't get that top one to budge. I think I'm going to have to heat that. Hang on just a second. All right, thanks to the trusty Conair 1875, this one is really, really tight. So be on the lookout for that if you unbox these guys to unfreeze that joint. It 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 took a minute. All right, where was I? I had to take his sword off while I was flipping him around there. So we got the backpack. Backpack, I'm not super pleased with, but am I ever? So I want to check him out with this weapon just because I really do like this one. These enclosed trigger guards are always fun, aren't they? They never seem to hold these very well. It's pretty difficult getting this one in. Ain't gonna lie. I keep wrapping the cape in it. Man, hell, it was in there, but it popped right out. That's what she said. So let's go trigger. Just that thumb, man. Getting that thumb in there. Just does not want to close. Around this weapon. Mashing the thumb all to hell. All right, finally. Okay. Man, that's a lot of work getting that thing in there. I'm glad their hands do seem to be about the right consistency to be able to bend them. You can see a little bit of white on these guys, and I don't like that. When you start flexing their fingers, I don't like seeing that plastic stretch, but you don't have any choice if you want to put some of these weapons in their hands. So hey, at least it's like not like it was 40 years ago, because that thumb would be done for. So that in there, it fits decent. Um, I wish I could get it angled a little more so the bottom fingers would wrap around the handle a little bit better. You might be able to playing around with it for purposes of this. So it will go. Check out this futuristic Captain Phasma shotgun. These weapons with this dude just that's makes it look all the more like he should be like a Death Squad trooper or something in Star Wars. So you can actually get him the way he holds this. You can kind of get it braced where it needs to be to fire a shotgun, but this is an energy shotgun, so it shouldn't be much kick. Shouldn't be a lot of recoil with a laser gun. And this thing right here, I'm just gonna show it. It's atrocious. It's going in the accessory baggie for this figure. But just to get an idea of what he looks like with it, like this bullpup design that you can't use for anything at all other than he's holding it out like this. I love that it has this little, I guess, foregrip right in front of the trigger guard. The only way this dude is grabbing that foregrip is if you take this arm off or maybe pull the hand out of the socket. So there is his loadout. And back here on this backpack, so we've determined that this one will attach. That one goes in pretty nicely, bends the back out just a little. You could probably slide this up some and also slide the backpack around on him some. That stays in pretty nicely. I don't know. Okay, well, I hate backpacks that are designed like this. by the way. And another figure. It'll actually, if you pop it in there, slide it down, it's going to stay. Getting both of these in there and getting them to stay might be another game. So I did them that way since that one went in with the stock at the top. You really see how much it bends right there, can't you? So he will actually carry this stuff if he's going to hold this one. As much trouble as this one was. There it goes. It joins the M16 on the floor. So these actually, they stay in. They don't stay in all that well. And see how, oh, he's a little, I just noticed that. Man, look at that torso. I didn't realize he was that flimsy. I hadn't actually done that movement with him yet. But he flops around. He's like a little fishy. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Backpack on, man. Look. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. There are other figures that are far worse. Doesn't really affect his ability to stand. Affects his ability to stand. All right, Bob. This is a pretty wicked looking figure, but I'm not a fan of the backpack. I will probably pose this guy with the sword and maybe the shotgun. It ain't gonna be that one. Maybe the shotgun, or maybe we'll put this one in his hand, or maybe the knife in some close quarter combat. So he's got a lot of choices over here. He can draw his pistol or try to draw a saber. Not bad overall. This is a surprisingly pretty decent set for repaints and reuse. So here we go. Hold up. Do it. Wonder Twin powers activate. Look like they're fixing to do something with that guard in the back, don't they? All right. So we've seen it. If we can recreate this guy's look. Plastic on his hands are not nearly as pliable as they are on the Shadow Guard. That is faux show. You put this one in. And you can't see with the ammo box there if the trigger's going on the finger. All right, not bad. Okay, I lied. I forgot how stiff the fingers were on these guys. There we go. Handle on this M60 is too short. It needs to be a couple centimeters longer, I think. And of course, you're not going to get this guy into a two-handed pose with this. Trying to see if I can at least get it on the ammo box. So rock and roll does not have this much trouble with this weapon, but of course that popped right out of there. I don't know. It's a cool weapon. I don't know if it's a right choice to come with this guy or not, because that's about the best you're going to get as far as him firing. So, what do you think? What the angle of the hand and against the bicep there, like it just creates too much gap. but he can brace it against his shoulder and fire it that way. I just think the purple against these guys is such an odd choice. You know, they gave us green with Mutt. Mutt's was green. When somebody else had one that was painted, I think, maybe. Why in the world did they not paint this guy's green? Purple's great, but it just don't go with this figure. And he's going, oh no, what did they do? What did the quartermaster give me? Oh no. So there is your Twilight Guard and your Steel Corps Commander, guys. Did you pick these up? He's an army builder, I guess. He's not an army builder. Again, if you've got a big enough Steel Corps, maybe you need 2 commanders. I just need one more of this guy. I'm going to try to pick up one more of him if I can find somebody that's got one loose. Anyway, did you pick these guys up? What do you think about them? I can see where they would be an easy pass for somebody. This guy is a really cool figure. He's going to look really unique on the shelf, and if you do get 2 of them, you could have this guy, you know, guarding some high value targets. Have these guys guarding Tomax and Zaymod, or have them leading a few Crimson Guard. Colors really do not go together at all, though, do they? These guys almost need to be their own division, and I think Hasbro knows that because they want you to buy a bunch of these 2-packs. I don't think they're going to be hard to get once the new wears off. They've been available on Pulse here in the last week since they were getting ready to ship. Let me know what you guys think about them. Overall, I like them as a set. I give these guys a 4 yeehaws out of 5. They're better than average, but they don't knock anything out of the park. But the aesthetics on them are really great. They come with a ton of weapons, no matter how you feel about them. They are good choices for these characters for the weapons. This one is never a good choice for anybody, but with what they're going for this dude, more of a futuristic type feel, they do fit him. I just don't really care for them, and they made them pretty. So 4 yeehaws out of 5 on the set. If you want me to do the figures individually, I would probably give both of these guys a 4 separately, because I think they are above average, but they're not knocking anything out of the park. But they're very aesthetically pleasing. His wrist arm gauntlet armors are also the shiny plastic. I forgot to point that out. And then same thing on the belt buckle, and the rest is more of a matte on this guy. So he's got a lot of different paint apps on him between his gear. So they put some effort into this guy. I just wish he wasn't floppy, but again, I can live with it. We've seen worse. Guys, if you like this review, I appreciate you hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I try to do content as often as I can when I get stuff in. Trying to do some varying stuff here on the channel, here and there. But I appreciate you sticking through watching the review with me, and I will see you guys next time on 3 Star Draw.